Yo, 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 is this thing on? One, two, testing, testing, testing. What is up, my people? We got a very special thing going on today. I got a very special guest today. Now, before we get into it and invite my guest, um, I just wanna set the stage because this is something new that I'm doing, and it's partly because I've experienced it until recently. I'm gonna be completely honest. Is that we listen to all these seminars, we listen to the podcasts, we listen to different people, right? And sometimes it's hard to get out of that phase where we live in theory so much. And what I mean by that, sometimes, we read the books, we listen to the people who are guiding us, but sometimes we just lack that action. We lack that action phase. And part of that, what I want to do is talk to people who I believe have that oomph, that sauce that got past it. So, and apply it every day, and who know how to reset and maintain that mindset. But I got a badass motherfucker coming in right now. I'm waiting for him. I just sent him the Zoom link, but his name's Billy. I'm gonna let Billy introduce himself. I got 15 minutes with him, and not because I scheduled him or he told me he's like, you only got 15 minutes with me, but only because I wanted to keep it nice and short, and it's gonna be about practical stuff. We're gonna be assuming. I need to catch my breath. Darn. Just got out of the shower. But I'm like over here just like setting stuff up. But as I was saying is I just want to talk to people who can share the practical steps, like to break out of that barrier and to share with us what they did, once they understood the mindset thing and took action in their life. So, but Billy's here. Let me admit him into the room. Let's get him in here. Billy. Billy's here.
How are you?
Yo, Billy, how are you, man? I'm recording already, by the way, man. You're on. I just
Okay,
gotta,
awesome. Sorry, I was lagging for a second.
dude. Don't even worry, bro. I appreciate you for giving me the chance to. I was finishing up a workout, man. I was in it, those workouts you're in, and I was like, dude, I gotta get back, freshen up real quick for Billy, bro. But dude, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Just enjoying life and just working hard. I just got back in from Dallas yesterday, so
I,
excited to be back in California and back working.
I saw that, brother. How was that, man? You made your first TV appearance, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
So,
man. It was pretty cool. It was a like a production center that's been like it was a Mexican news network for one
oh,
point that like,
nice.
serviced like almost all of Texas, like
Oh, bro.
Houston network, the Austin network, like these huge areas. And so to see like podcast studios and radio station studios and
That's
news
so
studios at that scale, it was really an awesome experience. Like let alone being on the show, just being in the
yeah.
environment. And some of the guys had worked with like Garth Brooks and like Faith
Yeah,
Hill
yeah.
and huge names in the country industry. So it was cool to hear like kind of the stories that they had working with these big name celebrities. So it was
That's
a great experience.
That's dope, man. I saw that, bro. I saw you catching the flight going over there. I saw you catching the
Yeah,
flight back. I'm like, man, this guy's moving. You
yeah,
stay moving, bro. And that's
always.
such a good way to come in, bro. And the reason I was recording already, man, is because I was just setting the stage. I wanted to do something different with this show. And it's kind of just like, me kind of talking before the guest shows up. I only got 15 minutes, and not because you set that restriction, but because I feel like 15 minutes is a sweet spot. I don't take too much time away from you. We could get, pack a punch in those 15 minutes. And I know it's right on the spot. We've never
Yeah,
spoke before, but hey, man, I'm about to get to know you.
conversation.
Yeah, man, I'm about to get to know you in these 15 minutes, man. And it won't be the last time, that's for sure, man. But
Absolutely, absolutely.
I just want to thank you once again, brother. And if you can, just do me a favor and just, let us know a little bit about who Billy is, what you do, man, and we'll get right into it, man.
Yeah, so like you said, Billy Anderson. I live in Northern California, kind of a little bit more Central California right now. I live in Modesto, California.
Yeah.
I am most notably more or less known now for a company called GoFresh. My Instagram handle, Billy GoFresh.
Yes.
And so we are a meal prep company. We have a few different retail stores that we have throughout the Central Valley and into the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we offer home delivery and delivery to businesses. So it's been a great experience the last 6 years, a little over 6 years running that. But prior to that, I had been in the solar industry, the cannabis industry, done e-com for the last probably 14 years, some sort of e-commerce businesses over the past 14 years. as either an investor or as the CEO. So pretty much everything entrepreneur. I've been sued by Footlocker. I've had a lot of different things.
Wow.
So the stories I can tell are quite extensive at my young age. So
Oh man, I don't think 15 minutes is enough to
no,
tell the
definitely
story
not.
about the Foot Locker story, but man, I would like to know about what happened there, but and what you learned from that. But no,
Yeah.
man, that's great, dude. Like I've been following you for a little bit, man, and I followed you through mutual friends, man. Andy, you got Willie Escobar, you got Albert Preciado, man, and I've had the honor to actually talk to Andy in person, man. I just texted him the other day, like, yo, what's up, bro? How are you? Dope ass people, man. I know you had your own event. What was it about content? I forgot the name, man. I'm
Conversation
sorry.
about content.
There you go, man. That's
Yeah.
when I first was exposed to you. I was like, oh
No
man,
way.
this guy's dope, bro. And like, you know, and you could tell, man, when someone's really hustling, bro, and they're real about it, and your content's dope, man. I love it, bro, and it's an honor, bro. But yeah, bro. So just to get you up to speed about what I'm trying to do, man, it's kind of like, so this started off because personally, man, you know, let's assume, you know, I've read the books, I've seen the podcasts, I've seen the seminars, you know, I have the theory down, you know, I have the mindset down. But now it's like people like you, man, people like Andy, other people, man, it's like, okay, man, you guys know how to conserve the mindset. You guys built it. It's very foundational, don't get me wrong. However,
Yeah.
some people, and some people, including me, have gotten stuck in that theory and thinking like, oh man, you just gotta be calm, bro. It's gonna happen. You're reading the books, man. Don't worry, man. It's gonna work out. However, sometimes we fail to take that action, and sometimes we fail to keep that momentum and know that I took a lot of action today, and we did get results. But hey, man, I still got to do it again tomorrow. I still got to do it again next month, next year. Like this doesn't stop. Now, part of this, man, is to share a little bit of the practical steps, more like, you know, I'm not going to be like, tell me 3 things. It's more like, what's one thing I could start, for example, if I want to open up a meal prep business, or how can I start, you know, investing in cannabis, things like that. What's step 1? And assuming we have the mindset down, assuming we just need that extra oomph in action. So just to get that foundation set. But that being said, man, the first question I want to ask you is, you know, the pandemic has really affected individuals and businesses. And I know you're a person to help many. And I've seen that you're offering like consulting for businesses.
Yeah.
And you're very big on making an online presence. Now, what's one thing, man, like what is, can you explain what your online presence means? And what is one way, like, you know, you have a small budget, you don't have, you know, video editors on demand like that. What's one way that me, a business, you know, assuming I want to go into the business, can start unraveling nice content? It's looking good, but you know, it'll grow in time.
Yeah. You know, one of the biggest misconceptions is it's got to be nice content. I think, you know, somebody sees like my content and they're like, oh, wow, I've got to be like him. And like, I'm not at all trying to say I'm Gary Vee, but you know, when you see that high quality, because my video editors are just as good as Gary Vee's guys. Like, I'll be honest, like they're right up there. And so, you know, you see that and you see this like perfected like quality. But what you don't see is all the crappy videos I used to put out that were me doing it, editing it on was it iMovie on my phone, like, you know what I mean, like just whipping together something. And the patience to understand that, like, you just need to do it and get in the habit of doing something. Because once you build up that habit, it doesn't matter whether you have a videographer or if you have your iPhone. If you're not willing to pop up your iPhone, you're never going to put content out with a professional videographer. If anything, it's going to make you more nervous. So the main thing you can do is just get active, just start posting. You know, it's how do you know what the market wants to hear from you unless you put something out? So let the market be the judge. So often people are like, oh, you know, I'm waiting to buy a camera, or I'm waiting to do X, right? And it's like, just get started, because if we focused on speed and just getting things out to the market will tell us what works and what doesn't. And while you wait to be perfect, I've tried 10 different things and I've found 4 that work. So while you're still trying to wait for that one, I've already pumped out 4. Right? You know, I failed 6 times, but I pumped out 4 that worked. So, you know, and that's the reality, is you have to just worry about getting to the market, and the speed to market is the main thing that I'm concerned about. I want to flip through opportunities. I'd much rather try it. Okay, nope, that doesn't work for me. On to the next one. Then sit around and be like, I'm going to build the perfect plan and then take the perfect first step. I'd much rather take 1,000 shots and figure out how to make a perfect shot than try to focus making one perfect shot.
Yeah. No, it makes sense, you know, and sometimes I think sometimes we just gotta hear it like that because,
No,
you know, some people know they gotta be posting. And dude, I mean, these new iPhones, man, these cameras are ridiculous.
crazy.
Like, yeah, you don't need a DSLR or a mirrorless camera no
No.
more. You know,
Most people don't even know how to use that camera anyways. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if you can't even take it on your iPhone, you're not gonna buy a Canon and all of a sudden be like, oh wow, I know how, you know, what shutter speed to use or how to,
yeah,
you know, how to do this or that. You know, it's just it's about getting out there and creating consistent content. There are people with millions of followers that none of their stuff is shot on anything other than an iPhone.
yes,
And we need to understand that the quality of the product or the quality of the content isn't what matters. It's the quality of the consumption. Like you as the person that's consuming it,
yeah,
if it's about having a nice photo, okay, then that's the reason that they're consuming it.
correct,
But more than not, for my content, it's about the value of what I'm speaking. If
yeah,
I was just spewing nonsense, nobody's
yeah,
going to listen to my stuff, no matter how good it looks.
correct,
It's about speaking the right message to the right audience, and the look is the least of the concerns. Some of our best content for GoFresh or for myself has been some of our ugliest stuff that was shot on an iPhone. I'm
yeah.
telling you, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. I love that, bro. Thank you for sharing that, man. And you know, for those that are gonna be listening, I think it's you know, just start doing it. You know, the people will start, you know, double tapping, you know, the vanity metrics. But when people start saying like, bro, this is dope, man, like you've helped me out, that's when it's, you know, that's the market telling you that they like that stuff. So
Well,
what
and sorry to interrupt you, but
no,
being
definitely, man.
digital too is not just about having a Facebook, an Instagram, a
Yeah.
TikTok, that kind of stuff. But like, do you have a website? Is your website even properly set up? Like, I'm going through a client of mine's website right now, and like they're missing out on a ton of money from Google search. You
Yeah.
know, but most people aren't talking about Google search. They're like, you got to build your TikTok, and they're like, oh my god, they're overwhelmed with all this stuff going on. But like SEO is still one of the easiest ways to drive traffic to your business.
Exactly.
And you know, they're missing out because they're so focused on trying to run a TikTok, a YouTube, a Instagram, a this, a that. And there are these simple simple things that we need to get set up the foundation of being digital. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that, or even in the restaurant sense, a lot of them are not capitalizing on like DoorDash, Uber Eats,
Yeah.
these types of third-party platforms that can help them grow during the pandemic, you know? And it's
Correct.
all about mindset. It's about like, hey, how can I go create the best opportunity? I like
Yeah.
to say digital marketing is like going fishing. Do you want to go fishing with one pole or 100 poles?
Yeah.
Like,
That's a
hey,
good
man,
one.
I'm going to go with as many lines as I possibly can. So I want my SEO working right. I want to have this. I want to have this. I want to have as many lines in the water as I possibly can. So
I love that,
sorry,
bro.
sorry to interrupt you.
Nah, man, I love it, bro. I like what you said about fishing, and it's like, you know, you're throwing out four while someone's
Yeah.
just throwing out one, man. Yeah,
Yep.
bro. I love it, bro. I love it. The next thing I want to talk about, bro, is a little bit about GoFresh, and I know you mentioned you've been at it for 6 years, right, with GoFresh,
Mm-hmm.
and I just recently you've been sharing, bro, some pieces of content where people have told you like, don't even bother, or dude, like it's not gonna work out, bro. You're not gonna be nothing, man. Like, and you speaking about going through different industries, specifically for GoFresh, man. In the 6 years, I'm assuming you've seen some stuff, you've hit some rough patches, right? But it's also clear that you stuck around long enough, bro, for you to be very successful. Now, what's one thing that you could share with someone maybe starting into the food industry, or specifically maybe like a meal prep industry, if you will? I'm sorry, bro. I'm calling it meal prep, but what would you call it, bro?
That's correct. That's right. I mean, we're prepared meals. You know what I mean? Meal
Okay.
prep is the correct thing. I used to be. This is the funny. I used to be actually like anti that term. I was like, we're not a meal prep company.
Yeah.
We're a healthy restaurant. We're not a freaking restaurant. We're a meal prep company. You know, that's what we do.
I just wanted to clarify, bro, because I know
Yeah.
I'm
You're
calling
good.
it
You're
that,
good.
but my question is like, what's one, like, you know, Billy, going back 6 years ago, like what was those steps in the beginning, you know, where you have to set up shop and you have to get your first customer? How was it getting your first customer? How was it making sure your acquisition was consistent, right?
Yeah.
So what's one thing you could share maybe for someone who wants to get into an industry like that? And it's all relative, you know, starting up,
Yeah.
you know, setting up
Yeah.
shop.
Food is an interesting one. You know, it's a lot of times, I think probably the biggest mistake that I see in food is people price to their competitors. So they try to price match competitors. Not necessarily like they actually go and say, hey, like if you can get it from McDonald's for the same price as me, like I'll match it. No, like they literally will see what their competitors do and they'll match those prices and be like, well, they're charging $5 a meal. So that makes sense that I should charge $5.
Correct.
But they don't ever look at like, well, is that what your operations allow you for? Because what if your operations are more than theirs? Maybe they have a better building. Maybe they're not paying their taxes. Maybe they're not even, you know, like who knows what they're doing, you know?
Correct.
And I think the one thing in food is that you have to focus on making a great quality product, that people buy great food.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a number one thing. People don't buy, even at McDonald's and like Burger King. Like I don't know where you're at. My Burger Kings, nobody goes to those things.
Yeah.
So like, and they're cheap as hell. So nobody's buying straight up on price. There are obviously people, but it's a very small market. Most people choose on flavor. Now they might have like, okay, I love both these, and this one's cheaper, and like my budget right now, I'm gonna choose this, right? You know, not all of us are going to Ruth Chris or things like that.
Yeah.
But overall, people, when they're choosing A or B, they're choosing based upon the flavor. And so you have to make sure that you make a great product and then price it to make money. Instead of trying to make think that you need to hit this budget, like I need to charge X for this product, but I'm going to add all this wild and crazy shit to my plate that maybe is going to make my plate cost a ton, but I'm naive. I'm focused more on price match. And we get caught up into the price being only the only value exchange. When you're giving somebody food, you're giving them something other than just, you know, food for this dollar. You're giving them an experience, right? You know, flavor is an experience. When you eat something, your mouth, it's a flavor, your flavor or your taste buds go on a journey, right? It's an experience for your taste buds. So you have to understand that it's not about the price, it's about giving them an experience.
Exactly. No, man. And I like that because, and just to clarify, I'm from Hollister, so I'm close to you.
Okay, you're not terribly far now.
Yeah, man. And even, bro, like you go to other big cities and you see meal prep companies, right? Sometimes, they're still bootstrapping it. You know, they're still cooking themselves. And yeah, maybe they're focusing on the price match. But what I noticed, man, you have a lead chef, man. You got people in the kitchen who have experience. And, there's people out there doing the meal prep thing, and they will get there. But I like what you said. Sometimes we get too caught up. And sometimes we just get so caught up that our whole business model just runs on the price match, even after we have a lead chef or even after they get a good acquisition of customers. So I really like that, man. And I see you, man. I see you scaling. I see you really, really hitting it off with GoFresh, bro. It's really, really dope to see, man.
I appreciate it, man. And, if you ever want to get to the point that you aren't the head cook, if you're not, if you want to get out of the kitchen and be able to do things like this, right? We have a huge team and we have multiple layers of leaders. We have operation managers above our chefs. So, to get to me, it's like there's multiple managers before me.
Yeah.
And to get there, though, you have to have a healthy margin.
Yeah.
You have to know your numbers. And food cost is probably one of the things that people undervalue the most.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to know your numbers. Most restaurants, I could walk in and be like, why aren't you making money? And they'll be like, well, I think we're just not doing enough business. And I'll be like, no, more than likely, you're probably, you have no idea how much you're paying your employees and you have no idea how much your food costs. Yeah. And if you don't know the numbers, you're never going to be able to grow your business or make money, which then you become a slave to your kitchen and you're stuck in your kitchen forever, and then you burn out and you quit. And so you have to make sure that you have a healthy enough margin to actually be able to grow your business.
Man, that's fire, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing that, bro. The next thing I want to ask you, man, has Billy always been this, really, really energetic guy, man, social, talking to people, throwing his events? Have you always been like that, bro?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
So I actually grew up playing the bagpipes.
Nice,
so I'm Scottish. So I like to put it out there like this. Like I was like 10 years old and like I grew up in the Bay Area and they would I played bagpipes for the Alameda County Sheriff's Bagpipe Band. So I used to play at the jail, like the Santa Anita jail. And there's dudes in there doing life, right? And I'm playing the bagpipes in the courtyard, right? I'm no joke, bro. And so I would be put in these situations like this little white kid like in a skirt, you know what I mean? Like playing a bagpipe. Like it was the weirdest thing to so many people, but I was put in this situation where like to most it was uncomfortable. In the beginning it was very uncomfortable like doing this. But we'd play concerts and we played, ultimately at the world's level in Scotland and traveled around the world doing this. And so I was put in these situations. My parents, one of the greatest things, my parents were extremely positive and always encouraged me and then put me in anything that I wanted to do. So like, and I don't mean like anything, right? Like within limitations, right? But if I wanted to get involved in sports, they would figure out a way to get me involved. There was never like, oh, no, you can't do that. It was like, we believe in you. You can do that. Like you could do that. Like, and as crazy as it was like, building a tree for it to like, just literally stupid things to like, I think you can do that good on a sports test, or I think you can win that championship or whatever it was. It was always encouragement. And so those early things really set the foundation for me and allowed me to just be this positive, high energy guy. And I have extreme gratitude. And I think that was really laid in, and the foundation laid for me with my mom. And going back to what you said in the very, very beginning of kind of like the intention of this whole podcast
Yeah.
and helping people move from that like really informed state into
Yeah.
like that activity state.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the greatest things is gratitude, because when you have a great day where you are really active, sometimes we fail to recognize ourselves for the wins that we have. So I love to be able to take a daily inventory of like, okay, what did I do today where I really won? So that tomorrow I'm like, oh shit, yeah, yesterday I crushed the day.
Yeah.
And you kind of have that, like, I don't want to say cockiness, but the confidence, like I can do that again.
Exactly.
And when you start to build that habit of daily recognition, you shift your mind into that place of constantly being in a positive place.
And bro, and this was something I was talking to before you even got on the call, is the fact that, you know, people like you, man, are people that understand the foundational part of the mindset part, but know how to conserve it, know how to reset, know how to set themselves up for success the next morning based on the wins and even the fails from the day before. But it's like, okay, how can I set myself up for tomorrow not to be like today, or maybe even better than today in terms of 10xing, right? So that's exactly, man, you hit it right on the nose, man, on talking about conserving that mindset and understanding that, yeah, once you get out of that informed state, the action phase is nonstop, man. You gotta keep going. So, man,
that ball rolling.
Yeah, dude. The last thing, man, is and the reason I asked if you've always been social, man, is because there's a lot of people out there, bro, that are very talented. You know, they have these skills, or they have these things that they need to share with the world, but there's fear holding them back. Or maybe they just say, I'm just not like that. I don't like to be out there. But what if they do want to be out there, but they just don't know how to do it? What is one thing, man, you could, you know, not to teach someone how to be more social, but to kind of just like put themselves out there a little bit?
Yeah. Well, you know, I was talking to Willie and Andy about this a couple weeks ago as well when they were up here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I hadn't been on stage in a while since when I spoke at Willie's event last month.
Yeah.
And I was nervous. Like, you know what I mean? While I might be social, I still get nervous. When I walk into a room and I don't know anybody, I'm still nervous, right? You know, so the reality is, like, no matter who you are, you're going to get nervous. There's going to be some room or somewhere that you're going to be nervous. You got all that. So everybody has that self-doubt, that fear, that imposter syndrome, that whole mindset, right? I think one of the main things is when you understand that the more you do something, the better you become at it, and the easier it becomes. That's my philosophy, is like, what's on the other side of like that discomfort is success. So if you can get past that uncomfortable phase, and I know it's so hard, right? Yeah. But you have to know why, right? Your why. What is your why? And when you know what your why is, these things start to become easier. But at the end of the day, the number one thing you have to understand is, as you go, the longer you stick with it. Like you said, I've been in it with GoFresh for quite some time now. I've created the success. Why did I create success? Number one reason, I stuck and stayed. That you stick and stay, you'll earn your pay. Anything and your pay may not be financial. Maybe it's like physical. Like, okay, I've been at the gym for 5 years. Now I'm finally seeing, like, damn, I'm getting stronger. Like, quick, like, you know, because there's that certain period of building the foundation, and now you know how to properly lift. You know, your muscles know how to recover, right? You're eating, like, everything's aligning, right? Yeah. Because you're stuck and stayed. Because more than likely, somebody's not going to continuously do something and not change, because at some point they're going to be like, okay, I need to adjust what I'm doing. So if you understand the long game with everything, so if you're uncomfortable with something, you're not going to fix it today. You have to shift out of that mindset. There is no quick fix to anything. Money, health, finance, any area of life, there's no quick fix. It is a long game. And so when you can really shift your mind into understanding that and have gratitude for those small wins, you'll build up that momentum. And I think the biggest thing is people get stuck in their heads. And if you're already fearful of the thing that you're trying to do, that means you're up here. Well, why are you up here? Because you're not grateful. If you're focused on gratitude, you're focused on everything out here. Like, you're focused on the real world instead of, you know, this imaginary world. I had this video that I seen a couple weeks ago, and he's like, I got 99 problems, but 86 of them are completely made up scenarios in my head that'll never, ever happen. You know, and it's like the truth. And it's like, most people are so, like, stuck into this imaginary world that's never going to happen. But that's what's holding us back from actually taking action in the real world.
I love it, man. I asked for 15 minutes, bro. You gave me 15 minutes. You gave me, whoever's going to listen to this, bro, it's solid 15 minutes, and they could run away with something and start shifting something. Maybe they're in their second year and something's not clicking. They listen to this, man. Like, all right, man, I got to start being more grateful. And, bro, I appreciate you. And what I said before you got on, man, you're a badass motherfucker, man. And I appreciate you. I respect you, bro. But, yeah, bro, just to finish it off, man, where can people find you, man? And I know you got some consulting, coaching. Yep. So, yeah, man, where can we see that?
Yeah, you can find me easily on, most easily on Instagram, Billy_GoFresh. You can find GoFresh at GoFresh. And then also check out Level Up Society, _Level Up Society. That's our networking association. If you're an entrepreneur of any level, you definitely want to connect with everybody there. We've got a killer little community. It's not
Yeah.
huge, but it's a powerful group. I mean, just during the pandemic, since we started, we've grown to a couple hundred members, but the people that are in it are really up to some crazy stuff. Like I know we have a podcast that's going on within Level Up Society, and we're interviewing tonight the founders of the Asian Hustlers Network, which is
Okay.
like 40,000 members. I mean, just blowing up. So we've got some crazy people that are working with us. I mean, we've got guys that have done billions with a B of dollars in sales, 9 figures in sales, like some killers. So it's a great organization. So you definitely want to get a part of that. But yeah, hit me up, DM me. I'm always down to connect and conversate. If there's anything I could do to support or help anybody, I'm always happy to help out.
Thank you, brother. And I'll vouch for that, man, because you're super easy to reach out to, man, and talk to. But I appreciate you, Billy. Thank you for your time, man. And I'll hit you up, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, brother. Take care.
All right, you as well.
Peace. All right, man. That was, Billy's a fucking badass motherfucker, man. I'll say it again. And I think if you really focus on what he said, and in terms of if you're in the industry and pricing and things like that, maybe you should focus more on flavor, the experience. And that word's thrown around a lot, experience. Like, what does that mean? So right now, doors are closed for restaurants. You can't go eat somewhere, but you can still deliver that, nice package with that that flavor, right? That sauce. And man, that was good. I want to keep it short just so you can listen to this real quick and start applying it. We talked about 3 different things. There's so much more we could learn from him, but it won't be the last time. But yeah, guys, like I said, it's something new I'm trying out. Shout out to Billy once again. Can't wait to speak to more people like him. Go check out his stuff out. Go follow him, man. That guy's a dope dude, man. And on that note, peace, guys. Let's get it.